All right, welcome to round three. On your right, we have Garrett Newberry on Knightfall, and on our left, we have John Stokes playing Grixis Control. So personally, we're rooting for our hero, the people's champion, Garrett Newberry. No bias. John Stokes is a total villain and should explode in a fiery ball. Uh, John Stokes wins the die roll, so I believe he'll be on the play here. Both players drawing their 7. We'll get underway. Okay. John's keeping, Garrett going to 6, so we're going to shuffle up and we're going to sit here and twiddle our thumbs while we wait. I personally am a big fan of twiddling my thumbs. Sometimes you get to. I really don't know where I'm going with this, and I apologize.
John Stokes, can you give us a thumb twiddle?
John Stokes, if you would please kindly. Yeah, thank you. That was. This is well done. You truly are a master, but also very evil. And I hope you die today. No bias.
Honestly, sure.
I can't root against the people's champion. Hoping to run back his feature match victory streak over here, we have Garrett. You may remember him from round 1. He did some things where he drew a bunch of cards. And then
champion.
6 will be the number of the counting. Okay. Garrett likes this one. Looks at the top, leaves it on top. Everything is right with the Cosmos. So John will start us off. Steven untapped. Go to 18. And suspend an Ancestral Vision. Shift the turn back.
Garrett plays wife.
Garrett plays wife.
It's a very powerful.
It's a very powerful card. It alienates many nerds. He'll play Windswept Heath and pass the turn back. Ancestral ticks down, Impending Doom. It's the nuclear weapon of our match. Thing in the ice. Ooh boy. Personally, a fan of the 49 yen sticker. Yeah. 19 yen. Oh wow.
I think that was a pillar of flame.
That's how you know it's supreme value. So Garrett's going to go ahead and search up a Temple Garden as John passes the turn back. Take a draw.
John Stokes with dice tribal.
Tribal dice, yes. He'll go ahead and fetch again. Expecting a 2-drop out of here. Just see. I have the list of likely 2-drops. Scavenging Ooze, 2 mana. No, not 2 mana dorks. He did not fetch up the second green. He got a Plains. So yeah, Voice of Resurgence will be the play from Garrett, and he'll pass turn. Seems fine in a matchup to force your opponent to play all his likely counter spells or removal on his turn instead of trying to leverages mana well. So John will go ahead and cast a Serum Visions, take a ice counter off Thing in the Ice. Look at some cards here. Think about where he wants to put them. Put them both back on top. Okay. Okay, and he'll pass the turn back. Alright, so Garrett's going into the tank here, thinking about sequencing. He'll play a Breeding Pool untapped, fall to 16. Slam an Eye of the Reliquary, and pass the turn. Okay, John will untap. Another counter will fall off Ancestral Visions. Take a draw step. Play a fetch land. A little bit awkward with the Serum Visions having left his other card on top. But sometimes you just have to do what you gotta do.
It is 16 to 18, right?
Yes, it's 16 to 18 right now. John's going to take a turn here to think, see what he's going to do about Impending Doom in the form of Knight of the Reliquary and Voice of Resurgence.
We'll see for sure later on.
Yeah, we will review and make sure you skipped your land drop in the, I guess in post, since we're making post jokes today.
Yeah. We're always making post jokes, and if we don't make enough, well,
We'll make them in post.
we'll make them in post.
Hey, finger guns.
Finger guns. Well, we didn't do the finger guns on screen, but we'll fix that in post as well.
That feel when you miss your land drop on stream.
What you say?
What you only meant well, remember when. Alright, so he's going to go ahead and crack his fetch, shuffling away one of the cards he saw with the Serum Visions. No bueno, but unfortunately sometimes it's just the cost of doing business. And get a swamp. Okay. So we'll see. John going to slam a spell here, or if he's just going to ship the turn back. I assume there will be a spell happening with the fetch, and the Voice of Resurgence being very good at saying, do not play spells on my turn. Okay, so John goes ahead and casts a Kolaghan's command. Modes are shock Garrett's face and make him discard a card. Okay, Garrett will discard a Scavenging Ooze and take 2 points of damage. It seems, so a lot of you are probably thinking, why didn't he just shock the Voice of Resurgence? The likely reason for that would be being afraid of the token. If Garrett can untap and slam a bunch of creatures, it can get very large very quickly. So Garrett will play at Plains, go to combat step, and swing with both his creatures. 6 damage will come across the table and connect. John will fall to 11.
You're right, I fetched. So he's actually 10? I'm at 11. Okay.
He should be at 11. Garrett will play a Finks. Get healthy. Go up to 16. Have another body. Okay. Ancestral Visions will come off suspend. John will draw so many cards. Okay, so John will attempt to flip his thing in the ice, but it will eat a path to exile, get sent to the Shadow Realm, and John will look for another basic land from his deck. And then Inquisition will resolve. The last card in Garrett's hand was that Eternal Witness. So, being the only choice, straight to the bin. Okay. So, John has 7 cards in hand, yes. We're just confirming that. Sometimes drawing a bunch of cards can make you go over the Much Esteemed 7 card total, and then you have to discard at the end of your turn. Little known fact. John will cast the Serum Visions afterwards. Put one on bottom and one on the top, I believe it was. Double Lightning Bolt the Knight of the Reliquary, save a bunch of points of damage next turn. Still facing down 5 points, not something to just write off. Okay, John will fall to 4. Yeah, sorry. Yeah. Garrett will put down a Geist of Saint Draft. Pretty good threat against point removal deck. Yeah, so John will concede. And we'll go into the board here. So in sideboarding for this matchup, I'm not entirely sure immediately off the sideboard playing for Knightfall, but I assume that they will be looking for something that is going to let them try and either sneak under counter spells or removal because it is a creature-based combo, so you can shut it down with a well-timed terminate. John is looking for some kind of probably graveyard interaction to try and shut down the combo. He also could be just looking for more potent removal or some way to close out the game. We need some timely music for. See, when Star City does this, they have access to these fancy pull-ups that show you the whole sideboard list. Unfortunately, not all of us are so gifted. So I just have to make baseless assumptions and hope that I'm right.
Well, if people wanted to make those such graphics in Photoshop and send them to me, I will throw them in.
Or if we can, make them fill out a.
Ask for an Oracle text.
Sure.
Oracle text on Retreat to Coral Home.
Yeah, the Oracle text. We had a judge call for the Oracle text for retreat to Coralhelm. Excuse me, got mushmouth there. Coral is Coral. Smart, resident smart guy and speller of things, Harry Fogel, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh my gosh, he's gonna redirect to TCG.
Oh no! That's fine. Alright, so for those of you watching at home, Retreat to Coralhelm is a 2 and a blue enchantment, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, choose one. You may tap or untap target creature or scry one. John may be looking for some kind of enchantment answer. In Grixis, that'll be something of a feat, but more power to him. Garrett, pile shuffling, as we know, very useful technique. It lets you truly randomize your deck.
Not to be confused with mana weaving.
Not to be confused with actually shuffling, which does actually randomize your deck. I don't know how much more acidity I can put in my voice with that one. I've been told that my voice comes in at 14. If only we had some sort of chemistry professor here that could tell me which way the pH scale goes, because I can't remember. Can you make a judge call for a chemistry professor at a Magic event? Is that a thing that you can do?
I'm sure you could find one.
Yeah, probably find a couple.
It'd be pretty awkward going to a Magic event and playing against. I saw a picture on Reddit today of someone who matched on Tinder with their grad professor.
Oh, yeah.
And
John Stokes saw a post on Reddit today.
The grad professor was like, I'll take this slightly awkward moment to tell you your final grade B.
That was a riveting story about the front page of Reddit, ladies and gentlemen. We are all truly better having heard it.
Here's an internet point.
You get one golden arrow.
Goes to the left.
All right. So we're shuffling up and we'll get underway for game 2. That is the second game in a match of 3. 2 does come after the number 1, before the number 3. That's why it's in the middle.
Thou proceedeth to 3.
Unless you get a game loss, and then we're going straight to game 3.
5 is right out.
5 is indeed right out. Unless you're in the finals of the Pro Tour or the Star City Invitational. They also do 5 rounds in the finals.
Will be there anytime soon.
Wow. Way to be...
Well, I certainly won't.
I believe in you, Harry Fogel. I think you can make it.
I wouldn't want to.
I'm just saying, what, 50% of Fogel children have made it to the PT?
That's true.
For those of you that don't get that reference, I don't want to, ruin any surprises here, but in a shocking twist, Harry Fogel is related to actual cool guy Jack Fogel, who will winner of Grand Prix Memphis, who will probably murder my face for putting that on the internet. Or he'll have to go outside and stop doing his sloth impression. Yeah, he would have to wake up first. That's a lot of activity for one day.
All right.
Love you, Jack. It's banter in the poorly written Joss Whedon way. That's gonna get me hate mail. If anything gets me hate mail, it's calling out Joss Whedon.
Well, someone else would have to watch this video first.
That's true.
Also true. Somebody's gonna have to watch this. They're gonna go back for posterity 5 years later and be like,
Wow, this was the first stream.
"That Max Cotton, blah, 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 I can't. I just." It'll be very strongly written. It'll be a series of 5 M's. So we're underway over here. I should probably be commenting on the match, like a professional. Garrett starts off with a Noble Hierarch accelerating into a turn 2 Geist of St. Traft. John over here with a thing in the ice goes to terminate the Noble Hierarch to slow down his opponent's mana, take a counter off his thing in the ice, and passes the turn back. Garrett will attack with the Geist of St. Traft, make an angle, and block the Geist, save himself 2 points of damage, but take 4 in the air. Garrett will slam a Knight of the Reliquary and pass the turn back.
That card can be very dangerous. Like, of course,
Okay. John will play a land. A Scalding Tarn. It's a very hot Tarn. I'm still not sure what a Tarn is. I assume it's a geological formation because it's a land, but Tarn is not something you hear every day.
Well, sometimes you go out on the weekends and you get tarned.
I went down to the valley and got groceries or something. Yeah, no, I can see that, but you never hear anybody say,
You got tarned.
I went up to the Tarn for the weekend, got on the boat,
Going out of tarn.
going out of Tarn.
Kicked him out of the tarn.
Tarnation. Maybe that's where it's from. Maybe that's when they say Tarnation. Maybe that's where it does come from. We've solved the code.
Scalding tarnation.
What in Tarnation?
On the D20 stream Cowboy special.
Garrett will attack with the team, get an Aliantrazi token. Send John down to 7. He'll play another Knight. And a land. Stirring Wildwood being the creature land that turns into a 3/4 with reach for the low price of 3 manors. John cracks his fetch at the end of his turn. Searches for a Blood Crypt, comes in tapped. John flashed in a Snapcaster Mage at the end of his turn to maximize the use of his mana. In case he can't draw the 4th land, start casting spells in his hand as a control deck. Granted, this is modern, so there are a lot more efficient spells, but as a control deck, he does still have some pricey things. He'll pass the turn back to Garrett. Garrett will play a land. Look at his hand. Look at the battlefield. Touch the playmat. Do some math.
And our hearts.
And our hearts, yes. He'll attack. Pop out an angle from underneath his Geist of St. Traft. John will flash in another Snapcaster Mage, attack or block the Geist of St. Traft, a Knight of the Reliquary. Throw thing in the ice in front of the other Knight of the Reliquary. Before damage, Garrett will crack his fetch, put another land in to pump the power and toughness of both of his Knight of the Reliquaries. Get a Temple Garden, put it in play tapped. John will take 4 damage from the Angle token and fall to 2. All John's creatures will die in a horrible calamity. Garrett will pass the turn back. John will concede, no 4th land.
Alright. So we want to talk about sideboards.
Yeah, we'll go talk to both players about their sideboards. Unfortunately, John had the Damnation in his hand the whole time, for those of you who couldn't see it, and could not find the 4th land to cast it. would have really saved his bacon. Bacon is a technical term for butt. All right, so
John, is that, do you have the stuff you took out too?
we're going to hand you off to John Stokes first. He's going to talk about his sideboarding decisions. My name is Max Cotton. You saw me last round playing John. It's been a blast. I probably am going to hopefully not get hate mail for the Joss Whedon jab. Sorry. I did hate Joss Whedon. Internet, fight me. Here's John Stokes. Bye, guys.
You're good. All right, so for this match, I took out Pia and Kron Nalar and 4 Inquisition of Kozilek. I took out the Pia and Kron Nalar because it's not an especially fast clock, and his deck has few enough creatures that I don't really think the ground is going to get gummed up in any particular way that would mean that my normal threats, such as Kalitas or Goblin Dark Dwellers, couldn't get through. And I don't really need the tokens to chump block because hopefully I would have drawn more creatures to chump block. I took out the Inquisition because I felt that the cards I was bringing in were just better options, and I wanted to have as much removal as possible in case of just getting into a top deck war, which is usually what happens in these matchups. And as you saw in the first game, when it was pretty equal, and then he top decked the Geist of Saint Traff to kill me, Inquisition was really bad, which I had 2 of in my hand at that point. So Inquisition just gets really worse against the green decks. It's a lot better against other control decks or that's mostly spell-based decks. I brought in Nihil Spellbomb to stop the combo. It's pretty self-explanatory. Engineer Explosives also stops the combo and gets rid of any mana dorks or anything like that that maybe are coming up the board. Spellskite also stops the combo. I think I kind of gave away what I was sideboarding when I asked for an Oracle text reading on Retreat to Coralhelm because I needed to know if it was target creature or target creature you control, but it's target creature, so you can spellskite the ability. And then Damnation is just really good against creature-based decks. So, yep, pretty simple sideboard in this matchup. Just got, mana screwed. But that's about it.
All right, thank you, John. Garrett, sorry to make you switch over. Do you mind transitioning all that over here? All right, so Garrett's going to come around, and he's going to give us a similar rundown of how he sideboarded in that match, what he was expecting to run into, what he knew his weaknesses were in that matchup, how to turn those into strengths, as is the goal for the sideboard. Garrett really showing us how strong Knightfall is tonight. It's a deck that I really like strategies that use lands. Like I said, I'm a Scape Shift player. I think it's a really fun card type to manipulate. My favorite card is Primeval Titan. So I'm a big fan of this deck. It doesn't run Titan, but it should. All right, gonna hand the mic over to Garrett.
Okay. So I took out the combo in this match, just because he is spot removal deck, and there's just not a very good chance of it going off, really at all. I also took out a Quasali Pride Mage just because there's better stuff I could have. He does bring in some artifacts and enchantments, but I don't think having a second copy is that big of a deal. And I also took out the Elspeth Knight Errant, just because I wanted to have more Coco hits because I was bringing in Sun Titan and throwing the last Troll. So those can't be hit, and I don't want my Cocos to be less effective than normal. So I brought in the Smiters, one because it's better than Pride Mage and Retreat, but also because he runs, Kolagon's Command. So I could have this, just discard it, get a 4/4. I brought in Thrun just because it's just an incredibly sticky threat against this type of deck. Spellskites to protect my big creatures, and a Sun Titan in case it goes long. You can just grind them out over and over again.
Yeah, when I saw you put out that Sun Titan, I got pretty excited. I love splashy 6 drops. So
yeah.
Tell us about that a little bit.
It's a new edition. I haven't got to play with it yet.
Oh, okay.
I brought it in, but I've just never gotten to the point. So it might leave my sideboard sometime soon.
Yeah.
I really like the idea of it, and the more grindy matches, it seems really good. So I'm just testing it out right now.
All right. Well, if you're done, I can throw the mic. Thank you, John. Thank you, Garrett. That was a great game. We will see you guys in